has already chosen its moment. The hunted simply does not know it yet. The wild keeps no mercy in reserve. It spends everything on the strong. To look away, even for an instant, is to gamble with your life. The coolness of early morning briefly softens one of the harshest environments on Earth. Morning colour spreads across the clouds and gives depth to the open horizon. The landscape begins as a silhouette and gradually gains texture, colour and depth. Before the heat arrives, the plains hold a rare feeling of stillness. The savannah returns slowly from darkness, guided by the changing sky. At sunrise, scattered clouds become mirrors for light that has not yet reached the plains. The earliest rays reveal depth by separating foreground from distance. A thin veil of haze can turn the rising sun into a muted disk of light. At this hour, every small rise casts a shadow far beyond its size. The atmosphere filters the sunrise, creating soft tones across the horizon. The open plains become a study of contrast as light begins to spread. Morning light moves laterally across the plains, touching one feature after another. Low sunlight draws long patterns over grass, soil and stone. The first illuminated branches stand out against the darker land below. The wide horizon allows the coming day to be seen from every direction. Dawn emphasizes the shape of the land rather than its color. Heat creates haze, storms bring darkness, and dry winds carry dust upward. Some species remain close to trees, water, or grazing animals. Others travel independently across open country. Birds can find opportunity in places that appear empty to the human eye. Birds move through all of these changing layers. Their sharp vision allows them to detect small changes across large areas. Their flight becomes part of the visual character of the weather. After rain, the air may become clear enough to reveal birds at great distances. Some calls are brief and sharp, while others continue in repeated patterns. They respond quickly to movement, sound, and the behavior of other species. The sky may appear silent from a distance, even when it is filled with communication. Birds use sound to maintain contact, defend space, and respond to change. A gathering in the sky may indicate activity on the ground. Calls help individuals locate one another across wide areas. A single call can carry far beyond the source. In a flock, sound can support the visual coordination of movement. The sky reflects the condition of the land below. Many birds depend on information gathered from the wider landscape. The calls of one bird may alert others to food or danger. Bird voices become part of the atmosphere of the plains. Sound travels efficiently through the open air of the savannah. The presence of birds often reveals where resources are concentrated. From these positions, they can monitor both the ground and the sky. A single branch can offer height, visibility, and temporary security. Communication continues both in the air and on the ground. Birds often use exposed perches to observe the surrounding plains. Trees provide important resting points within the open landscape. Water responds to the whole drainage area, not only to what falls directly above it. This delayed reaction makes natural systems difficult to predict. New channels, deeper pools, and softer banks can appear overnight. The landscape must be read again after every significant storm. Seasonal change continually redraws the safest routes. The savannah offers few permanent guarantees. Adaptation requires attention to current conditions. Water itself is one of the clearest symbols of this uncertainty. It can arrive suddenly, remain briefly, and vanish without warning. Yet, even temporary water can leave long-lasting effects. Seeds may germinate after only a short wet period. Moisture may recharge underground reserves. Animals may regain strength before continuing their journey. Fresh runoff may continue entering long after the rain has stopped. Heavy drops strike the surface and erase earlier patterns. Rain creates one rhythm, while wind creates another. After the storm, the water settles into a new state. The pool can rise even beneath a clearing sky. A calm morning may follow a night of major change. Knowledge of yesterday's shoreline may not be enough today. Familiar water may no longer be familiar. One storm can influence life far beyond its duration. Water turns brief weather into lasting ecological change. The effects spread through plants, animals, soil, and movement. A fuller river may open routes that were previously impossible. Water changes the accessibility of the landscape. Some areas become connected, while others become isolated. The grasslands create long natural corridors used by wildlife across generations. Even after the surface appears lifeless, the roots may remain ready for rain. These corridors connect feeding areas, water sources, resting grounds, and seasonal refuges. Movement across the savannah is guided by the changing condition of the land. Where the grass dries, the landscape encourages movement toward better conditions. Where fresh growth appears, life follows across the open plains. The endless horizon gives the impression of freedom, but survival here depends on constant adaptation. Open space offers visibility while also exposing life to heat, wind, and danger. There are few places to hide across the broadest sections of the plain. The grass itself becomes the main source of food, shelter, and protection. Short grass reveals distant movement, while taller grass creates concealment close to the ground. These differences create a patchwork across what first appears to be a uniform landscape. Different heights of vegetation give each part of the savanna a distinct character. Green bands may show where recent rain has passed through the plains. Some areas are smooth and open, while others are dense with mature growth. Many grasses survive by protecting their growing points close to or beneath the soil. Subtle changes in color often reveal differences in moisture and soil. Pale fields can mark areas that have endured longer periods without water. The grasslands record the movement of the seasons through changes in texture and color. With the arrival of rain, dry ground can return to life with remarkable speed. Fresh shoots spread across the plains and soften the harshness of the landscape. During the wet season, the horizon may become surrounded by green. Long, dry months expose the endurance of the vegetation rooted across the plains. This temporary abundance supports an extraordinary concentration of life. transition from green to gold is one of the savannah's most visible seasonal changes. Yet the same land can turn dry and brittle when the rains disappear. The body of a giant herbivore is built to endure, but endurance still requires care. Temperature regulation becomes especially important during long dry periods. The strongest animal does not always need to prove its strength. Dust and mud can provide more than comfort. They may also protect the skin. Approaching water often brings relief and tension at the same time. Displays are often enough to settle disputes before contact occurs. Patience can prevent unnecessary conflict. Breathing, posture, and body orientation all help manage temperature. Some animals stand to catch the breeze, while others seek relief near water. Yet most visits end without serious conflict. Small physical behaviors can have major survival benefits. Larger or more dominant individuals may claim the best positions. Animals entering the water must remain aware of what may be hidden nearby. The shoreline may be crowded, uneven, or difficult to escape from quickly. Saving energy and avoiding injury are valuable victories. Every drink helps restore what the heat has taken away. Water brings different species into close proximity. Without enough water, the body's margin for error becomes smaller. Others wait, circle, or approach from a different side. Even familiar places can become dangerous under changing conditions. At a busy water source, social order becomes more visible. Resting in heat is a strategy, not inactivity. These encounters reveal a temporary truce built around a shared need. The peace can hold as long as each animal respects distance. One careless movement may disturb the entire gathering. Once the immediate need is met, the animals begin to separate again. The necessity of water creates brief moments of tolerance. They remember something we have forgotten how: to simply be what we are. The plain grants them room without ever being asked. There is a purity to their existence that ours has lost. The whole living web depends, in the end, upon the hunters. They move, and the world steps aside. The hunt is their whole world, and they belong to it utterly. Wherever they go, the plain quietly makes way. The hunt defines them, from their first breath to their last. Everything they are bends toward the hunt. They are creatures of the hunt, and nothing else could contain them. hunt is the axis around which their whole lives turn. The hunt is their birthright, their burden, and their whole existence. They are a thread the entire wild is woven around. Take away the hunters, and the whole plain would slowly unravel. Their patience puts our own restlessness to shame. They hold the wild together in ways that are easy to overlook. In them lives a freedom we can only watch and envy. They live for the hunt, and by it, and within it. They ask nothing of the world but to live as they were made to. More depends on the hunters than the plain will ever see. The health of the whole plain rests upon its hunters. Remove them, and the balance of everything would falter. They are essential in ways that go far beyond the hunt. They belong to the hunt the way a river belongs to the sea. Underground competition can be intense, even when trees appear widely separated. Roots from different plants may reach the same pockets of water. Root tissues become active and begin drawing moisture inward. Growth can restart before any visible change appears in the branches. This rapid response allows them to benefit from short, favorable periods. Not all moisture is equally beneficial. The rainy season is a time of intense biological investment. The seasonal window can be brief. Flowers may appear when pollinators become more active. Only later do new leaves reveal that recovery has begun. Above the surface, the landscape may still appear calm. Trees may use stored energy to produce foliage quickly. The struggle below ground is hidden from view. The first response to rain often happens below ground. Dry soil swells as it absorbs water. Rain changes this underground world almost immediately. Plants must grow, reproduce, and store energy within limited time. Every stage must be completed before conditions decline again. Fresh leaves replace tissues lost during the dry months. New fruit provides food and a way to spread seeds. Strong storms can loosen the ground and make large trees unstable. Yet excessive rain can also create problems. The wettest months are therefore among the busiest periods in the life of a tree. Waterlogged soil may reduce oxygen around the roots. Heavy branches become more vulnerable when soaked by rain. A lone figure grazes in the vastness, small and calm and unafraid. They want nothing the plain cannot freely give. A single one keeps watch, still as stone, guarding the grazing herd. One lifts its gaze to the horizon, as though remembering something far away. Theirs is a life without ambition and without complaint. A lone one lingers, grazing while the herd moves slowly on ahead. Their needs are few, and the plain, in its seasons, provides. One steps to the fore, and where it goes, a few begin to follow. One turns its head to the wind, reading the plain for whatever it may hold. A single one stands quiet at the herd's edge, keeping its patient watch. One wanders a little from the rest, then returns, drawn back by instinct. A lone shape moves across the grass, unhurried, wholly at home. They live simply, asking only grass and water and the company of their own. A single figure crosses the open ground, alert and unhurried and alone. One stands a little apart, silhouetted against the endless plain. They live and graze and move along, content with the simplest of things. They take only what they need and leave the rest to grow again. They live within the plain's slow rhythm and never fight against it. They ask so little and give so much, and go on quietly either way. Airborne particles deepen the color of the evening and blur distant forms. Evening creates a visual stillness that contrasts with the hidden movement below. As the sun moves lower, the land seems to flatten beneath the glowing sky. The last light gathers along ridges and elevated ground. Low valleys disappear first as shadow spreads across the plains. The western side of every tree remains bright for a few moments longer. The sun's final rays pass through dust and create a soft veil over the horizon. Branches glow at their edges before merging with the dark canopy. The open country becomes a place of outlines, distance, and fading color. One part of the savannah may remain bright, while another has already entered shadow. Moist air changes the way light travels across the landscape. After rain, the same horizon may appear sharp, clear, and intensely colored. The season determines whether sunset appears pale, fiery, soft, or dramatic. These final shafts of sunlight move quickly as the clouds continue to shift. During dry months, the sky may fade through copper and dusty rose. In wetter periods, clouds add layers of shadow and reflected light. Storm clouds near sunset can turn the horizon into a scene of powerful contrast. The wild is beautiful in the way that truth is beautiful completely and without apology. Here, beauty and hardship are woven from the same thread. There is a beauty here that owes nothing to anyone and answers to no one. The wild carries on, and we are glad in the end that it does. The wild is beautiful, not despite its harshness, but because of it. In a world of reasons, the beauty of this land needs none. Some beauty asks nothing of us but to be seen. And the light moves on across the land as it has for 1,000,000 years. The land is beautiful without an audience, and always has been. The world turns quietly and carries all of this along with it. And life, as it always does, simply continues. The land goes on being the land, faithful to nothing but itself. The land wears its beauty lightly, as though it hardly knew it was there. The story folds gently closed, and yet it never truly ends.